Life does not. Oh my God. Oh.
Haiti is not the only place that has lugaws and shapeshifters.
Like, he had the body of a man, but he had the body of a deer or a horse.
I never been to Haiti, but now my mama don't want me to go. She don't.
Please, I don't have any time for any gossip now. Huh? Yes.
Look at you.
Do something with it.
It's just money coming to me easily. Money coming in and needing me. Money coming in repeatedly. Money coming, it's just money coming. It's just money coming to me frequently. Money coming in to be with me. Money coming in secretly. Money coming, it's just money coming. It's just money coming to me always. Money coming in all day. Money coming in all paid. Money coming, it's just money coming. It's just money coming to me frequently. Money coming in to be with me. Money coming in secretly. Money coming, it's just money coming. It's just money coming to me easily. Money coming in and needing me. Money coming in.
Life does not. Oh my God.
So not only that humans transform into cats in Hades, but dogs also. So I have a story time. When I was about 8 years old, my mom, she brought me and my sisters to Haiti for the first time, and it was by far the worst trip I've ever taken in my entire life. I would never go back to Haiti ever again. So when we went to Haiti, we were there for about like 5 days, but the trip ended up being like 3 days because we were so traumatized that we had to end up leaving, right? So one night, I'll say the second night, me, my sisters, and my cousin, we were all just playing games in the living room. This was like a part of Haiti called Port-au-Prince, and it was late at night, and we just heard random knocking at the door, right? And we're just like, who's knocking at this time? Like, it's pitch black outside, and in Haiti at nighttime, there's a thing called blackout, okay? So there's like pitch black, blackout, you can't see nothing. So somebody's like knocking on the door. We ignored it. So they start knocking again. It gets louder. And so my cousin's mom, she ends up getting up and going to the door. All of a sudden, we just heard silence, right? And then we heard like a big commotion. Everybody, she started screaming and cursing in Creole, and other cousins ran to the front, and we just heard like shit moving around all over the place. So we're scared. We're like, what the fuck is going on? So a few moments later, we heard them saying that it was a dog, a shin. So we're like, what do you mean is a dog? It sounds like a human knocking on the door. So come to find out, I guess they knew the Americans were in town, us being the Americans, and someone sent somebody to transform into a dog to come and see who was in the house that we were in. So they ended up kicking that dog ass, and the dog ran away, okay? And then after that, the next day, I got robbed. So if you guys want to hear a story time about that, leave a comment, and I'll go ahead and tell you how I got robbed in Haiti. But I would never step foot back in Haiti again. If you ever go to Haiti, be prepared to see some weird, unexplainable things in Haiti, okay? Just be prepared.
Life does not. Oh my God.
And like Haitian people generally really don't fuck with cats, especially my dad. And if you knew why, you would understand too. Because the amount of cats, of lugaws that my father had to chase away to keep us where we are now, alive, yeah, you would hate them too. The stuff that we've seen growing up as children and the stuff that they've had dealt with and seen growing up and still to this day, yeah, you would actually not fancy them as well too. Father used to wake up in the middle of the night and chase them on top of our metal roof. Like you could hear them stomping and making noise on top of the metal roof. And no, I don't mean just cats. I mean lugaws. people who have been turned into something that is less than human or more than human and can transform into cats. And especially black cats, because they blend in with the darkness of the night. Lugaw will only come out at night to come and do harm to your children. So they need to be able to be flexible to squeezing into tight places to come into your homes. Oh, and so they fly and land on top of your roof or climb on top of your roof and then sneak through the holes. So some of y'all worried about the things that you have never seen. But imagine the things that we have seen. Imagine a cat transforming into a full-grown woman, standing on top of your child, breathing down on their life.
Respectfully, what is going on in Haiti? Not minding your business can get you. Minding my business is easy, but sometimes I just saw a TikTok where this girl was telling a story of how she was in Haiti and some man picked her up on the side of the road. And while they were driving, he turns into a dog. She said the only reason why she walked out of that situation alive is because she stayed composed and had no reaction. When that man turned back into a human and had his whole entire episode, he asked her, "Oh, did you see anything?" And she replied, "What? See what? Oh, no, I didn't see nothing." Girl, I would have hit him with me, I would have been done for. I would have done something unexpected. Like, yo, you turn into a dog, you about to give you a... Like, you're not expecting that. But yeah, that's why I would have been, Anyways, I'm jetting it. The thing is, I don't know. Like, you need to mind your business.
I never been to Haiti, but then my mama don't want me to go. She don't want me going over there. But it's crazy. I tried to go when my grandpa died. It's just like, a whole lot of food, a whole lot of I probably don't even come back if I go to Haiti.
Nah, you'll be all right.
Man, them people probably eat me, man.
Nah, you'll be all right.
Man, them people probably eat me, dog. I'll probably come back and won't be able to rap again. Dumb, stupid, like crazy.
Nah, I think you'll be all right.
Like that.
I think they'll show you so. I think they'll
Haitians
show
will put
that.
woo on you for no reason. Because you're smiling,
He believe he's a shapeshifter, Haitian man. Let me see your mouth. Your whole mouth.
Okay.
That's why he's asking him in Creole. Okay. He believe him. He's transferring into a werewolf. Something. You can tell he's not putting anything in his mouth. I've shared him before in my video. There you go. I've heard stories like this growing up all the time. Neighbors who does this all the time.
Haiti is not the only place that has lugaws and shapeshifters. I am back with another spooky story. This one is The Witch of Batesbridge, a true story. We're gonna call the person who submitted the story Palisa. This is a spooky story that her friend told her. She said after hearing it, you'll understand why her friend left Zimbabwe for good. Her friend is originally from Zimbabwe in a place called Batesbridge. I'm sorry if I butcher that. It's a small village where every family had all kinds of livestock. Cows, goats, you name it. Now, this is important. Now, when homegirl was younger, strange things started happening. Goats began disappearing. Every night after herding the goats and locking them up, the next morning, one would always be missing. At first, people thought it was just thieves. The homegirl dad and some men from the village decided, let's stick it out. Let's stay up all night and see who is gonna come in the yard and steal. Regarding the kraal where the goats were kept. The first night, nothing happened. The second night, they stayed up halfway, got tired, and went to sleep. And that following morning when they woke up, yet another goat was missing. So on the third night, the watchers decided to keep it a secret. They told nobody that they were gonna be watching that night. They even slept inside the kraal in disguise, hiding among the goats. That night, something finally came. A hyena. So the hyena tries to snatch a goat. But this time, the men were ready. They beat it and beat it until it stopped moving. The men decided to hang the unalived hyena on a tree in the center of the village for everyone to see what had been hunting their animals. Everybody went to sleep feeling victorious. They done caught the hyena, stealing and eating the goats. It's all good. The next morning, there was no blood around his body, which was strange. But when they got closer to the tree, it wasn't a hyena anymore. You want to know what or who it was? You're going to have to go to part 2. I'm just kidding. When they looked at that tree, it was no longer a hyena, but it was her dad's oldest sister, naked, unalived, and hanging from the tree. They were horrified. But deep down, they already knew what had happened. The villagers, elders, and witch doctors confirmed it. She was a shapeshifter. A witch who had been stealing and killing the animals in the night, hiding behind the form of a hyena. And it didn't end there, apparently. When they searched her house, they found piles of meat stacked inside. But even worse, even more chilling, they found a human-like creature. It was giving her money, making her unbelievably rich. They had to get rid of it through a traditional ritual. Because of the nature of what she was, she didn't get buried in a cemetery. Instead, they buried her in a secret place, far away from everybody else. In her home, it stayed abandoned. But till this day, people swear that there's always fire burning there. And somehow, the yard is always perfectly clean. They believed her spirit never left. And that was the story that Palisa's friend told her. We've left South Africa for a little bit, and we are in Zimbabwe, and Zimbabwe is giving us a run for y'all money. If you're from Zimbabwe, are y'all familiar with lugaws and shapeshifters? Thank you guys for watching yet another spooky story. Make sure you follow me on Instagram for more spooky, better lifestyle and all types of all-around content. This is your first time seeing my face on TikTok, and you love the dark and mysterious and spooky stories, you better make...
And I know Terry Don Phillips is sitting at home. Terry Don, I'm not here without you, brother. Appreciate you. Love all the people who couldn't come here tonight because tickets are too much. They saw a heck of a game. They had a good seat at home. And I'm just thankful. And I know so many people are part of this. It's a blessing.
Coach, your story is one for the history books. Congratulations. Enjoy it with your family tonight.
Thank you.
These reptilians are getting pretty bold in front of the camera.
100% real shit. Life does not. Oh my God. Oh my God.
So there's been a lot of chat about on TikTok about shapeshifters and, you know, all that good stuff. And me being Haitian, none of that scared me, none of that surprised me. I feel like if you Haitian, you know, like we've gotten all these stories and we've seen things. I feel, especially if you've gone to Haiti or if you've been around strictly Haitian people, you know, you kind of know. I've seen my mother catch, my mother and my uncle catch spirits all the time. I've seen a shapeshifter myself. I'll tell you guys about that story in just a minute. Now, the story about me seeing an actual shapeshifter was very interesting. So my grandmother, it was happened like 2 years ago when my grandmother had Alzheimer's. She still has Alzheimer's. She's in a nursing home now. But before we put her in a nursing home, we had home attendants that would come take care of her. And because my grandmother had was Haitian, and she has Alzheimer's, she would go in and out of her, you know, the languages. She would, because Creole was her first language, she would go in and out of that a lot. And so we wanted someone that could understand her and also cook the Haitian dishes that she was used to. It just made sense, right? So we had this one lady, and she came in, and she was the weirdest. She probably was the weirdest one. Her energy was very welcoming, but it was also very like standoffish at the same time. Like, we would try and direct her and basically train her and tell her what to do to take care of my grandma, like what my grandma needs. My grandma's gonna do this, she's gonna do that, you know. She may fight you, this and that, all that, right? And it came to a point in time where eventually she started to just act very weird. And so my mom was having conversations with her, and the conversation would be great, okay, like, you know, but then she would like flip the conversation and then be rude as fuck. Even if you started the conversation really nice and was explaining something to her, she would just flip the conversation and be rude. Like, it was the weirdest thing. And to the point where everybody in the house had a conversation with her, trying to understand her, you know? And I don't think that was ever done to any home attendant. Usually my mom handled it, which was so weird. It was kind of like she was trying to draw energy from all of us, this lady. Like, it was the weirdest fucking thing. So now, like I said, this lady, And we're tired of her now. So it's like mid-afternoon. We're like, okay, well, you gotta go. We're just gonna let you go. And, you know, that's it. You can go. We went as far as to call her the job, like the hosting place that she was at. And still to no prevail. She didn't want to go. She did not want to leave. It was the weirdest fucking. And so eventually we're like, okay, you gotta go. We try to put her stuff out, and no, it starts to get in a big argument, and I start yelling at her. And I kid you not, when she tried to flip it this time, I saw her true form. It was the ugliest, scariest fucking thing ever in my fucking life. I swear to God, I'm gonna make this 2 parts. It was the most scariest fucking thing I ever seen in my life. And it only happened for a split second. That's the thing with shapeshifters.
Life does not. Oh my God.
Okay, I'm gonna get off this app. But first, I gotta tell y'all about the story about how it's very short and simple, honey. I was on my way home from the club being grown at 3 a.m. and I live in the woods. Okay, I live in I got a Piggly Wiggly. That's all you need to know. Anybody from the South know if you got a fucking Piggly Wiggly, bitch, you was deep in the woods in the South. Okay, I was at a red light. Okay, coming off of a main highway, and I see out the corner of my mirror something coming at me like full force. I turn back, I look, it's a fucking deer man. Like, he had the body of a man, but he had the body of a deer or a horse or whatever, but he had the body of a man, and he had on a hoodie, and he had on a hat, like a ball cap, and he was running at me really fucking fast. Like I said, that light was red, but bitch, it turned green in my eyes, because, honey, I took off. I fucking took off, and I did not. I drove home in silence. I was terrified. I want to say I called my best friend. Either we were already on the phone, or I had called her afterwards because I was so fucking shook. When I looked back in my rear mirror, he was standing in the middle of the street. And yeah, after that, I tell people like, oh, I don't drive in dark, like I can't see, which I really can't because I got astigmatism. But it's really because I don't have time to be getting chased by centaur people. I'm not really sure what he wanted. I mean, if it went 3 o'clock in the morning, maybe we could have had a nice conversation. But he was running at me like he was trying to do something to me, and I don't like that. Like, sir, you keep them demon vibes over there, honey. Keep that shit to yourself. But it scared the shit out of me. So now I call him a deerbra. You know how Kevin Hart was talking about it was a deerbra chasing him. So I'll be calling it a deerbra. And my sister, when they come to visit me, they be like, we ain't trying to be out late because we ain't trying to get attacked by no deerbras.
So this happened in Miami. And yeah, I still live in Miami. I was like around 6 or 7. This was like back in 2006, I believe. So we used to stay in this building. And in the building, it was to be full of Haitians, full of Haitians. If you're Haitian and you know what's a lugaw, then you know what I mean. So it was one night, it was me and my brother, we was in the room, we was sleeping, my mom and my dad was in their room. So it was like 2 o'clock in the morning. We sleeping, we little kids, we sleeping, blah, blah. Then randomly something happened. Bruh, something told us to get up. We woke up, literally, me and him woke up. And I swear, bruh, this lugaw lady, bruh, we've been having problems with for the longest. She was in our room. Like, she was literally in our room, bruh. Like, literally in our room, staring at us. And we was on the wall. We, like, the TV right here and the wall right there. And we were stuck on the wall. We don't know what to do. But she was mostly coming from my little brother. Because, my little lugaws, they like young kids. if they see a beautiful young child, they're gonna take them. So as a big brother, I was not gonna let that shit happen. So I fought her. You feel me? I'm getting right with her a little bit. You know, she low-key beat me up. But you know, I'm getting right with her a little bit. Give her a quick zoklo and everything. Damn punch me in my rib. To this day, like, if I'm running so fast, my right hip will start hurting like crazy. So we fighting, boom, boom, boom. My little brother, he yelling. Then I start yelling. Then my mom came, burst in the room. Then she just disappeared, like boom. So my mom was like, okay, my point. A couple days later, man, my auntie, my mom, even my dad, my uncle, they all went after that lady. They whooped that lady ass. They banged on her door. They did everything it takes. To this day, bro, that shit still scarred the fuck out of me. But it's part of being a Haitian, you know. That's what most Haitians go through in life. Most. I can't say all, but most. You feel me? But yes, lugaws, these vampires in Haiti, that's called lugaws, they are real. They are real. If you're from Haiti, you know what I mean. Like, even American kids, Haitian American kids, y'all know what I mean about lugaws, bro. This shit real. It's real. Like, it's really real. It's not American vampires.
Life does not. Oh my God.
Before I even start this story, I want to say I rock with y'all the long way because I feel like y'all do not get to see, like, I don't come up here trying to be like a baddie, dolled up. Like, I give y'all raw, cut, and unfiltered. And I love that y'all rocking with me because it's like, like, I still look good. Anyhow. But don't worry, I'm gonna start getting a little dolled up for y'all. I promise. Like, IG began the baddie. I got y'all. Because I came on this bitch like, damn. But anyhow, this story, I was there, but I wasn't there. I say that because it's like, I was really just a baby. This didn't necessarily happen in Haiti, but it's a story that my father told me. And I've heard, like, my father told me a good couple of stories before too, so we can get into it. But I'll never forget, it was one time, my dad, me and my father was talking, and we was just like, you know, chatting it up. And he was telling me, like, you know, as much as he do love being, you know, a Haitian man and this, that, and the third, you gotta watch out for your own people, and it's so sad. And I just feel like, you know, it's real if, like, a person of a certain descent, ethnicity, or something that's telling you, like, of their own kind. You get what I'm saying? Like, that means, like, nigga, I ain't lying. So one of the things he had told me is like, for him, my father obviously was born and raised in Haiti. I believe my dad, I think my mother's from Port-au-Prince. I forgot which part my father's from. I'm not even gonna lie. I'll update y'all. But I remember he told me, I just can't remember the name per se. So he was telling me those certain stories, and then he was telling me that, like, basically there was a time where when I was a baby, I was, like, firstborn. Maybe, like, he said I couldn't have even been, like, a whole month yet, or whatever the case may be and shit. And him just knowing what he knows of Haitian people and just his own personal human instincts and not to trust motherfuckers, you feel me? So basically, or whatever, like I said, I was probably maybe, like, no more than a month old is what he told me. And some lady that he know or whatever, like, had came by the crib that we were living in at the time, and she bought him a plate of food. But for one, two things. He said, one, he dad wasn't hungry. Two, something in him just didn't really feel for the food. Mind you, this is one of his meals right here. And pour tout haïtien yo, sou connaît bagay yo, I think it was like legumes, di blanc, sauce partout bagay sa. Basically, legume is like a mashup of like different vegetables. It can have a meat in it as well. It's like stewed down vegetables. They blend it up. You could put a choice of like protein. You could put like beef stew chunks. You can even put like crab in it, white rice, and bean sauce, basically. It's a good one. I didn't like when I was a kid, but grown up me now, I would tear that up. So, right, like, you know, it's like, that's like, once again, like somebody bring you one of like your favorite dishes, but you just ain't even end up really rocking with it, or you just ain't like really feel for it at the time, or whatever case it be. You ain't even bother to touch it, whatever. My father told me, mind you, let's say the person bought him the food today, September 19th, came September 20th. For some reason, there was a whole smell in the apartment, everything. Like, like a weird smell in the apartment, everything like that. Like him and my mom was trying to figure out like, yo, what's that smell? Like, opens up the fridge, like, did we have like expired milk or something in there? Like, what's going on? Would you believe that same bowl of food was expired basically? Like it was fermenting, like it had mold on it, everything. If you just made this food for me the day before, or whatever the case may be, leftovers could last for a little second. Like, hello, if you know black people style with them Thanksgiving leftovers, we should know certain things should be able to last for a couple of days. Like, not the very next day this is going bad. So, yeah, no, like, and it just basically proved my father's point as to, like, the feeling that he was feeling about the food. And it's like, and he basically was just on some, like, thank God I did not eat that, because now, look, I would have been dead. I would have been dead. Like, or who knows, he could have opened the food, it could have harmed him, put something in him that could eventually lead it to harm me, my mom, or whatever the case may be. But yeah, I would never forget that story, son. Like, and that shit is crazy. And that's why they want to say, stop, you don't eat from everybody, don't pick me from you, don't be greedy, things like that, because you never know what's going on and what people are trying to do to you. That shit will always resonate with me.
In Haiti, when it hits a certain time, you cannot be outside. Scary story time. So I just woke up from a nap, so don't mind the whole flushed look. And y'all know I love doing these stories while unboxing something, and this is a wig from Amazon. Anyways, this story is actually my dad's story. He told me this story last night, y'all. When I tell y'all I've been fishing for stories for y'all. Anyway, so in Haiti, at a certain time, like 8 o'clock, you ain't supposed to be outside. Past 8 o'clock, when it's dark, that's lugaw time. You know to be home, because the lugaws are outside waiting for somebody to be called lacking. Anyways, he was really young at the time, right? And his aunt had just got this brand new TV. And mind you, this is like back in the day, so TVs were kind of like fairly a new thing. So him and my uncle begged my grandma to let them go to my aunt's house, well, their aunt's house, my aunt's house, to watch some TV. So my grandma said, fine, you guys can go, but make sure you guys come back on time. Like, don't. So, full disclaimer for the future stories that I'm going to tell you. My dad, I don't want to say he was the bad child, but my uncle was the good child that followed by all the rules. My dad also was a good child, but he was more of like a adventurous person. For example, when my uncle would probably walk away from a fight, my dad wouldn't. You get the gist. So anyways, they go to my uncle's house. They go at 5 o'clock, and my grandma told them to come back in an hour. They go, they're watching TV. At this time, it's about like 6:30, almost 7. So my uncle realizes the time. Of course, he's the responsible one. He's like, let's go home. It's getting late. It's about to be dark outside, so let's go home. My dad's like, yeah, 5 more minutes. Give me 5 more minutes. Let me finish watching this. 5 more minutes. So my uncle's like, all right, 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes pass. And my uncle's like, it's been 5 more minutes. We have to go. We're going to get in trouble. Also, full disclaimer, my grandma did not play with these boys, okay? She was a single parent raising 2 boys by herself. She did not play. Anyway, so my uncle's like, it's time to go. Like, let's go. And my dad is like, yeah, but this isn't finished. You go. I'm right behind you. I promise you, I'm right behind you. You go. Go ahead, go. And my uncle's like, no, I'm not leaving you. Like, no, let's go. And my dad is like, no, bro, just give me I got you. I promise you, I got you. I'm right behind you. Just go. I'm coming. Mind you, it's already late enough that my uncle don't even want to be walking the streets by himself. So he's like, all right, whatever. So he goes. And he like books it. He's running the whole way home because it's already dark. Like, it just got dark. It's already dark, and he's already scared. He don't want to get caught by nothing. You get it. If you get it, you get it. So he books it home. He makes it home. And my dad is still watching TV. And at this point, 2 hours pass. Now, this is definitely lugaw time. And then some more time passes. And then my dad just happens to take his eye off the TV. This is nice. It's a bob wig. He happens to take his eyes off the TV just to look around, and everybody else, his cousins, are sleeping. And then he looks up at the clock. It is 10 p.m., y'all. And if you know, in Haiti, 10 p.m. for you to be walking the streets is insane. So the realization starts to hit him. And at this point, he was more scared of the ass whooping he was going to get more than the fact that he has to walk through the streets at night with all these lugaws walking around. So he books it. He's running home. And he told me at this point in my mind, I don't care about nothing that's going on in the street. I'm scared about this ass whooping. And if anything happens to come my way, I swear it won't stop me from getting home. He's booking it home. And as he's like literally close, like around the corner from the house, he sees this chicken with all her chicks walking. Mind you, he's a little boy. He don't really he knows weird stuff be happening, but he doesn't really know exactly what to expect. He sees these chicken, so he's like, okay, chicken, I'm home. My house is right there. I don't really care about that right now. So as he's trying to go to his house, the chicken gets in front of him to block him. So he's like, okay, so he tries to go around and they get in front of him again to block him. And then he tries to go another way, like around them again, and they get in front of him again to block him. Now, remember how I told y'all, my father, he had a little bit of a temper, and he already imagines this ass whooping he's about to get, so he don't care about no chickens right now. So he kicks all the chickens, he kicks all of the chicks out of his way and ran into the house. And my uncle, being the good wingman that he was, he left the door open for my dad because, you know, he was supposed to be right behind him. Now, to my dad's luck, he gets home and my uncle's sleeping, and so is my grandma. So he's off the hook. He was telling me the story. He's like, I'm so happy because I'm off the hook. But little did I know, my problems had just started.
I know I'm in my car right now, but I want to talk to you guys how we do not celebrate Halloween like you guys do. In Haiti, we don't celebrate Halloween like you guys do. You guys, you know, like wear costumes, your kids wear costumes, and most of the time they safe, they go around the streets and do trick or treat and all that stuff. In Haiti, it's something completely different. We actually celebrate the dead. Let me go down memory lines, and I'm just thinking about my aunt, and that's why I'm in my car and I'm making this video because I don't want to miss a thing. I don't want to go home and then something distract me and I do not tell you guys the story because it's very chilling. It was Halloween day that you know, I'm quoting my aunt like with this story because that's hers. That's hers that she told the family, she told me, you know, and how she lost her beautiful 6-year-old. I'm gonna refer to her as baby girl. Baby girl is a beautiful little girl who grew up, you know, like in a wonderful area where it's actually protected against gang members, protected against like certain things that like you don't really see normally when you step outside the town. My aunt, you know, met her husband. They had, you know, a baby girl, and she grew up, you know, up until 6-year-old to be a beautiful, wonderful little girl. But there was one factor in the whole family. My aunt husband's brother, who was an outcast from his family, and you know, like my aunt, you know, husband did not want his brother to be living in the street, so he's like, let me take him in. He can live in the house with us. You know, he can give us a helping hand. And they did just that. But he had a history of always like being aggressive, not just towards like other people, but towards kids as well. And at 6 years old, the baby girl already telling mom, hey, listen, my uncle's doing this to me. You know, he's beating me. He's putting his hand on me. He's touching me, this and that. And then mom did not believe baby girl. And unfortunately, that you know left baby girl to a very vulnerable situation where, you know, she was always exposed to uncle who was doing different things to her. And that led to a very unfortunate event where baby girl actually was poisoned. So now, mom and dad are actually looking around and see who actually did this to baby girl. But they never questioned the uncle because the uncle lives in the house, so they never questioned him. But mom was always suspected the fact that this uncle like had a very like bad history of always being aggressive, especially you know, against children. So she always had it in the back of her mind that he might be involved in, you know, poisoning her. But it became a cold case. Like they couldn't find anyone else that they can actually, pinpoint to her being unalive. And then they, buried her, obviously, and they just moved on. That's pretty much what people in Haiti do. You lose a loved ones, there's no justice. You can't, deliver justice on your own. You just move on. All right. So fast forward 5 years later, this is where it gets very interesting. So this is why I'm telling you guys that we don't celebrate Halloweens the way that you guys celebrate Halloweens. Halloweens in Haiti is literally, we pretty much like, we communicate with the dead ones. We, like if you practice any witchcraft, any voodoo, whatever, it's more manifested that day. There's like carnival in the streets. There's like rituals doing like happening on like in the streets, in people's house, in people's backyard. It's literally the celebration of dead. You remember in the one video that I told you guys that everybody has like a small cemetery in the backyard. This is where they bury their loved ones. There's not like a main like cemetery that you go to. Some people choose to, but like some people just love to have like the main, the main loved ones actually buried in their backyard. So that's what happened to baby girl. Baby girl was buried in like her backyard, the same backyard that she used to play with different kids. And it's like these beautiful tombstones. They actually like decorated, and then like they put the body in there covered in a white, super white like cloth sheets, if you want to call it that. And when uncle passed away as well, just because he lived in the house and he was like the uncle, he was buried right next to her. So 5 years later, my aunt decided, you know what, I'm gonna do the same thing that I've been seeing for the past 5 years of people tampering with the dead, raising up their loved ones and ask them questions, whether they're okay or not. So she did exactly that. She brought up a couple of people who actually were helping her with that, and they went to her tombstone and they did their ritual, whatever they had to do. And the way that she described that to me, still like my skin crawls till today. The way that she crawled out of the tombstone, she stood up, and then the cloth is kind of like transparent, but you can see her face. It's not really her face. It's kind of like all like like it's more like a skeleton pretty much. And then the people who actually helped my aunt to actually make that happen was asking the questions, like, well, kind of like giving her instructions how to communicate with her, like how to ask her questions. And the first question that she asked her, "Are you okay?" And the next instructions, like, she's not gonna be able to communicate with you verbally, but she's gonna be, doing signs, either pointing or shaking her head, yes or no. And she went like this, no, like she's not okay. So my aunt started freaking out. My aunt started, asking her again, like, where are you? And then she just put her head down. She didn't even know where she was. And then the next question that my aunt asked her is, like, what can we do to help you? She put her head down again. And then my aunt was like, who is in there with you? And then that's when she stood up and stared at my aunt in the face. And then she pointed to my uncle tombstone. Like she pointed her finger out to the tombstone. And then that's when the two guys who actually helped her out, my aunt out, to communicate with her, she's like, they were like, is there any relationship between him, like the uncle, and the baby? And then that's when, like my aunt started to tell them, she used to always tell me that my aunt, like her uncle used to touch her and do this to her, blah blah blah. And then they instruct her the very next question: was he the one who actually hurt you? Was he the one who actually unalived you? And she went. And then my aunt again asked her, "Are you in trouble?" She goes, and all she did was literally with the cloth drag the coffin back into the hole into the tombstone. So my aunt was furious, instructed the two men, "I will pay you whatever you want. Destroy this uncle tombstone." And they did exactly that. And they set it on fire. They set the whole thing on fire with his bones in it. And then that night, my aunt went to sleep. Baby girl showed up in her sleep, in her dream, with a beautiful smile on her face. My aunt described her as beautiful, like she was so happy. She had this like shiny bright light behind her as she was like disappearing And then she just like that, it's kind of like she went to somewhere that she knew she needed to go, and she was safe. This is the story of how my cousin, my little cousin, actually solved her own murder.